Welcome to Have Got 2024
For you, I'm Joe Brand.
Well, I'm Clive Myrie.
I'm Professor Hannah Fry.
I'm Roy Wood Jr., and I usually host the American version of this show, but I'm here this week seeking asylum.
I'm Stephen Mangan. In the news this year.
At the Dorchester Hotel, following a night of high jinks, one man gets up early and retraces his steps to see if he can find the key to his handcuffs.
In Kingston-upon-Thames, Ed Davey arrives at the funeral of a much-loved constituent.
And on a Labour Party away day, Rachel Reeves wins a game of political stars in their eyes with a very good impression of Ed Miliband.
Oh, God, it's Drowning Street. What is that?
That's come out of the Thames fresh air.
The Lib Dem battle bus driving into the public.
This has been the worst start to a re-election campaign since John F. Kennedy said, let's put the roof down.
Yeah.
All you've got to do is lie constantly, get every big decision wrong, decimate people's lives, and after about 15 years, people go, that'll do, that's enough of that.
Keir Starmer explained that he might be asked to kick a football for a publicity stunt, so he didn't want to wear his normal footwear, which is understandable. Can we close in on that? Can we have a look at his feet?
They look a bit like horses' hooves, don't they? He's not a centaur, is he? They've kept that quiet. Never mind Angela Rayner, half man, half horse. According to the latest Gallup poll. Gallup poll! Hey! Brilliant!
Did anyone learn what Keir Starmer's dad did for a living?
I think he's never mentioned it. It's kept a very tight secret. He's never said anything about that, so no one knows, actually.
Now, we did track down some secret footage.
Really?
Keir Starmer finally admitting what his dad does. Here we go.
My dad was a toolmaker, so he went down the skills route. My dad was a toolmaker. My dad, by contrast, was a toolmaker. My dad was a toolmaker. My dad was a toolmaker.
Has no one ever heckled him, said, well, he made you, didn't he?
Now, who might be particularly delighted with the timing of the election announcement?
Paula Venables from the post office. It blasted her off the front pages and she would have got an absolute shellacking.
That's right, former post office head honcho and national sweetheart, Paula Venables.
She cried 4 times for herself. It was a really disgraceful performance. And I think, yeah, it was appalling.
I was pleased to see that the BBC did give Private Eye a mention, because Private Eye did play a large part in writing about this story for 20-odd years. That's not enough reason to buy it, but, you know.
So, yeah, we're going back to the elections, right?
Yes.
And this was Sadiq Khan's victory speech.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, London.
Go and kill London! Go and kill London!
That was the Britain First candidate. It was beaten by a bin.
There's a lot of Count Bin-Face supporters in town.
Keir Starmer was dispatched to do a kind of jolly daytime show. He went on this morning to be grilled by Andy Peters and Kat Deely. Should we see him enjoying some banter?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have the banter.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I look forward to coming back.
Thank you very much indeed. To do the cooking.
Yes.
Obviously. Right.
You're a big daytime viewer, aren't you, if you know that?
I watch nothing else. Seriously, the political stuff you pick up is incredible.
He's glued to Lorraine.
That's just a bit of gossip.
That's a bit of gossip. He never sees the programme.
Now, we mustn't forget the Lib Dems. So,
Who? They've got a guy who can go on a paddle board in Lake Windermere and fall off into a whole load of shit.
Shall we have a look at Ed Davey paddleboarding in Lake Windermere?
Yes.
Join this on this link.
think he's a man who's realised that dignity is overrated.
Yeah.
I like that.
Why would it be a good idea to deliberately fall off a paddleboard when you're trying to project that you'd be a competent leader of something?
Because gullible media people would repeat it in prime time.
Yes, there we are. This is the American election, and mystery guest is... Hello. That's where he's been for the last 6 months.
People seem to be getting depressed by this American election.
Yeah.
I mean, I say just enjoy it. There's not going to be another one. Just get involved. Really drink it in.
Absolutely. The rallies had quite contrasting styles. Let's have a look.
Good morning. Please have a seat, everybody. Please have a seat.
This is a balanced selection of BBC footage showing compassion, caring, Christian virtues and mad people.
German newspaper Die Zeit best summed it up. Why do the Poles always get it so wrong?
It's not the Poles that are the problem, it's the Americans, Roy.
People think saying shy fascists. Like, I don't know. Shy fascists?
Yeah.
Tiptoeing into Czechoslovakia. Look at me, I'm a shy fascist.
What might happen to Donald Trump this week?
Well, he's on trial at the moment, isn't he? He keeps falling asleep during the trial.
But that's because he's anti-woke.
Melania Trump recalled her experience of the first assassination attempt on her husband. Do we know what she did?
Reloaded.
Elon Musk is offering £1 million to any voter. It's essentially an enormous bribe to the electorate.
Do you know who I feel for with this story? I think of poor old Stormy Daniels sitting at home watching this. Going, they just have to sign a petition and they get $1 million. I only got 130,000. You don't want to know what I had to do.
As a Democrat, I think Biden's final legacy will be that no one will ever vote for the Democrats again.
Because of that?
Yeah, well, because they say, you know, you were meant to be the honest party. You didn't let people off for no reason. You promised you wouldn't.
Well, you know what kids are like. It's all nip, nip, Dad, pardon me, Dad. Pardon me, I'll fucking go on then. Your pardon, shut up.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because he's deaf, so whatever they say, he says, pardon?
Yeah. Exactly.
In recent weeks, staff have been concerned that Joe Biden's slow shuffling around the presidential garden is making him appear old and doddery. In fact, he looks so frail that Captain Tom's daughter has started building a spa on the White House lawn.
It turns out he wasn't walking around the garden, he was just trying to escape.
Oh, I can't stand colour red. Can't stand red wine. Charles and Camilla, this is... Oh, there's a colour red again. I can't stand colour red. Everywhere I go, there's a colour red. Why is this red? I can't stand colour red.
So Charles unveiled the first official portrait of himself as king by artist Jonathan Yeo.
Yes.
I know that he famously has sausage fingers.
Yeah.
But they've really accentuated. They're the only thing you can see apart from his face.
What do you make of it from an artistic point of view, though?
It's a bit Freudy, it's a bit bacony, it's a bit...
It's not bacony, it's sausagey, but...
What else has the king revealed this week?
Oh, new warrants?
New warrants, yes. Not for Prince Andrew, though. No, royal warrants. Who didn't get a sausage?
Walls, sausages?
No. It was a butcher's shop near Balmoral Castle, lost its royal warrant. Owner John Sinclair was baffled, saying they'd fulfilled an order to Balmoral just days before the Queen's death in 2022. I think that might be your answer, John. Jilly Cooper was given a damehood this week. Charles hosted the investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle, where Jilly Cooper was honoured. Nervously, hesitantly, she knelt trembling before the proud monarch. No, Jilly, stop!
He's still not got that salute right, has he?
This is Nigel Farage. What happened when he left the pub?
He got attacked by a woman throwing a milkshake at him. Had it been low-alcohol beer, he would have actually disintegrated. He went to drinking Wetherspoons, and where he's fondly known as that old loony lefty.
Staying with reform, here is Sophie Ridge talking about Lee Anderson on Sky News.
Lee Anderson defects to Reform UK as one of the last pricks in the whole so-called Tory war.
Have you ever interviewed Jeremy Hunt by any chance?
I think I basically got TV Tourette's, because I did think that was another one you might play tonight.
Two figures who are significant. Jeremy Hunt, because he's a potential leadership candidate.
He kicked off about the England shirts on the back of the collar being purple. And said, you don't change it purple. How dare you, disrespect the flag by changing it and making it purple. And I was thinking, I grew up in Mallorca, right? I saw plenty of St. George's tattoos turn purple in my time.
So this is Nigel Farage's 8th attempt to become an MP. As Farage left a Clacton Wetherspoons, he was drenched in banana milkshake in an incident described by local police as utterly precedented.
Liz quiz.
Liz Truss, busy plugging her book.
Yeah.
Fingers on buzzers, because here is the first question. What was the Queen's one piece of advice to Liz Truss?
Was it pace yourself?
Oh, this is absolutely right. You're on fire.
Well, I just find it funny that that's the exact same advice you'd give to your unemployed alcoholic uncle at Christmas.
What happened to the furniture that Liz ordered when she moved in to 10 Downing Street? Ian?
You've been a bit obsessed with Liz Truss, haven't you?
I think you've read her book, haven't you?
How dare you?
Am I right?
You might be.
Yeah.
She ordered a load of furniture, but she didn't last long enough as PM for it to be delivered.
Liz Truss has made a lot of enemies, including her own handbag. Have a look at this.
Yeah. Wow.
What's Boris Johnson been up to this week?
Who cares?
He'll come back, won't he?
I don't think it's over for him, no.
You don't think it's over?
I still think Boris was one of our better Prime Ministers, yeah. I see you selected the audience, the people who don't like Boris or Conservatives, yeah.
You can't just say you've selected the audience. You've got no evidence for that, no proof. It's just bollocks. This isn't GB News.
In other news, a sewage pipe in China has violently exploded, and I think we need to see the event in question.
Oh, my God.
This is the news that a Chinese sewage pipe exploded next to a busy road, covering passers-by with human waste, an incident described by Thames Water as pretty amateur.
One of the big problems with our water supply is the amount of lead piping still in use. There are over 5 million lead pipes still in use. Back in 1969, water companies pledged to get rid of all lead piping by the year 2050. Based on their current rate, when do you think they will finish that job?
3006.
Is it never?
Paul was eerily close. It's actually the year 3273 AD. They haven't even got round to replacing the lead pipe in Cluedo yet, and that's time.
To encourage people to go to church, they're staging wrestling matches in the church.
So is this during the services?
As it says in the Bible, the best of 3 falls and 1 submission.
It's good, but I think it would be better if it was actually, like, the clergy doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Archbishop of Canterbury should be in there, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he should.
Unfortunately, there's been a fairly major inquiry into that.
You kind of ran into him recently, did you not, Ian?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
He appeared at a public event the day after he resigned in disgrace and thought no one would say anything. And he came over and said hello, so I said something. He just seemed to me entirely shameless. And I said, you know, I don't particularly want to be rude, but we've written about this in Private Eye for a long time. And he said, but your account wasn't very accurate. And I said, feels odd to be lecturing the Archbishop of Canterbury about humility, but really, you're not in a position to say anything about truth and lies at the moment. And then he looked a bit shocked.
You know, years ago on this programme, I used to accuse Ian of being a bit snobbish. But now I withdraw that when I realise he meets the Archbishop of Canterbury at a drinks do at the British Museum.
Do you think so, Paul? Do you think you'll be missed at all?
We'll always get somebody else. Oh, the Archbishop of Canterbury, sorry. Sorry.
Lisa, it's a little-known fact about you that you used to play a certain winter sport to a very high level, didn't you?
Curling.
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 Yeah. Well, it also brings us neatly to round 2, which is the curlingometer of news.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes the first one.
Oh. Keep going, keep going.
Scarecrows.
Very good.
Oh, the Scarecrow Festival.
Yes.
Otherwise known as the Michael Fabricant Concert.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the annual Scarecrow Festival, currently taking place in Ray in Lancashire. What's the theme this year?
Scarecrows.
It's sci-fi, science fiction.
Oh.
More than 50 scarecrow installations have been created by villagers for the event. Jordan Gordon, one of the organisers, said there are quite a few ETs around. And here's one. Shall we play a game?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Let's play a game.
Where we try and guess which sci-fi character each scarecrow is meant to be.
Absolutely.
All right, the first one's easy. Who's this?
Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. Quick, Jim, the Klingon is escaping, it says written on the window. So that's a clue, isn't it?
Yep. And there's no explanation provided for the lavatory between them. Someone's boldly gone on the seat there.
I think that's a Klingon reference.
That's the captain's log. Who's this?
Oh, that's Alien, isn't it? That's got to be the alien bursting out of John Hurt's stomach.
That's it?
Didn't look anything like that in the film. Don't remember him wearing a flannelette pyjama top.
Finally, who's this one?
That's you.
I think that's Princess Leia.
You're right.
Oh, yes.
That looks really quite tasty.
This is the news that a village in Lancashire is hosting its annual Scarecrow Festival. The Ray Scarecrow Festival starts each year with a 10-kilometre road race as people desperately try to get away from the scarecrow enthusiasts.
Yes, this is clearly what the photo tells us all, really, the Photoshop. It's a sheep has clearly been producing some art.
Are you telling me that's photoshopped?
Well, I don't think that beret looks real.
Have you seen this story?
No. There's always an animal doing art whenever I come on.
This is the news that a sheep in South Africa has learned to paint. Would you like to see it?
He hasn't learned to paint.
It's a lie.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, go on, let's see it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Are we looking for sheep-based painters' puns here? Rembrandt, is that one of them?
You're nearly. Yeah.
Nearly.
He's called Banksy. Although the Daily Star preferred to call him Lamb Goff.
That's dreadful.
Rembrandt was better. Do you know how Banksy learnt his craft?
Did he do a foundation course and then a couple of years at the Courtauld?
He learnt from the best because he grew up with a pig painting prodigy, Picasso.
Makes you understand the history of art, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, Renaissance Florence.
Yeah, you know, Paris in the turn of a century.
This farmyard.
Yeah.
Surely the picture should be called Francis Bacon.
This is a sheep in South Africa who, it says here, can paint. Here's the sheep with one of his paintings. I'd like to think one day we'll see that hanging somewhere for about 6 days until it's nice and gamey.
In other news, who was recently found under a hedge near Dundee? Yeah.
I wasn't Michael Gove again.
Actually, it was Gary the gorilla.
Yeah.
There he is.
It was found under a hedge. How big is this hedge?
Yeah, after a nationwide appeal and 12 months of mourning, Gary was found last week, lurking in the bushes at the back of a lay-by on the A92.
Lurking?
Here he is being led home.
Wasn't there like another version of?
Yes.
Wasn't there a second?
They said we found him, and then somebody said, "Oh no, that's not the same one."
That's not Gary.
That's a different 8-foot polystyrene gorilla.
I'm slightly concerned for Scottish police, though, if it's taken them a year to find that.
Yeah.
It's not going in the back of that van either, is it, mate?
No.
OK, time now for the odd one out round. A Qantas flight from Sydney to Tokyo, Malcolm Kenyatta, the number plate TO25POT, and Judi Dench's parrot.
The number plate TO25POT could be regarded as tosspot. I would guess that Judi Dench's parrot probably swears. And on the flight, the Sydney to Tokyo flight, this was where they accidentally showed a rude movie. It was a night at the opera, apparently. They say Kenyatta, what's his first name?
He's called Malcolm.
He was on Question Time.
Was he?
And he got some English slang wrong. They've all been rude apart from him.
Ian is basically right here. So it's that they have all been unexpectedly rude, apart from Democrat Malcolm Kenyatta, who tried to be rude and failed.
Oh, right.
So he was appearing on a US election special of Question Time, during which an audience member said the word bollocks, and trying to get in on the joke, Malcolm had a go, but he didn't quite get it right. Have a little listen to this.
And so this idea that we have not unleashed American energy is, to use the word twice on Question Time, bullocks.
It's bollocks.
Oh, bullocks. Okay. Take me to the next show.
He's made a bit of a cont of himself there, hasn't he?
Please continue.
Yeah. Professor.
Bow, please, Hannah.
Yes. That's right.
What does the parrot say?
The parrots, well, Dame Judy revealed this week that her parrot once turned to her carer Barbara during a home visit and said, "You're a slag." This is one of 250 number plates that are deemed too rude for the road by the DVLA.
Seriously?
Yeah.
If you're driving behind a car and it's got TO25 pot, are you so triggered by that? I mean, it's just nonsense, isn't it?
Toss pot.
Oh, well, I'm only making a point. I'm sorry that I didn't do maths.
All right, how did the passengers on that Qantas flight from Sydney to Tokyo get more than they bargained for?
They watched they saw a dirty film.
They did. Do you know the story?
There's not much of a plot, to be honest. And pizza delivery man knocks at the door.
According to The Guardian, one traveller said, "I have never seen 40 minutes of penis and boobs on a plane before." Obviously, they've never flown Ryanair from Luton to Magaluf.
Time now for the missing words round, and we start with tiny ladders. What?
Infuriate firemen with big feet.
To give evidence after Stormy Daniels.
Tiny ladders will help dormice in Forest of Dean.
Ah, that's nice.
Here they are. There we are. According to the Times, Forestry England has built two 65-foot-long bridges, 16 feet high, over a forest and supported between trees, making it the biggest piece of UK infrastructure completed under the current government.
Next, knitting club forced to apologise after what?
Launching missile attack on Women's Institute.
misunderstanding the purpose of a needle exchange.
Yes.
Displaying naked knitted figures in a shop window.
Oh.
The knitting club in Shepton Mallet and Somerset received complaints about their display of naked figures and were forced to cover them up. The policeman on his left has got his genitals exposed, so he's presumably from the Met.
Next one. John Crawford from Glasgow was enjoying his back garden when what?
It subsided, revealing a vast Roman amphitheatre.
Yeah. I think that's right. When it collapsed to reveal a subterranean nirvana.
John Crawford from Glasgow was enjoying his back garden when he fell down a hole into a 12th century monk's foul water drainage system.
Holy shit!
And finally, Welsh woman spotted dangling upside down, 7 feet in the air, says what?
Get me down carefully.
Yes. There we are.
Welsh woman spotted dangling upside down, 7 feet in the air, says it could only happen to me. This is pensioner Anne Hughes from South Wales, who went viral recently. Here's the moment it all went wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Some people are shoplifters, other people are lifted by shops.
There is just time for the caption competition.
So what setting did you put the CT scanner on?
You're a hedge fund manager as well.
Jeffrey, I don't want to embarrass you, but you've forgotten to put your socks on again.
I'm impressed that you managed to get your helmet over the handlebars.
And I'll leave you with news that, at a party in London, one man reacts after the guest of honour tells his father's favourite joke.
The Crufts. It looks like there's a surefire winner for the title of most ambitious crossbreed.
And in London, after the assisted dying bill is passed into law, the first person to be euthanised gets the dignified send-off they hoped for.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy Christmas.
Gavin and Stacey finally came to an end. I'm not crying, you are. Watch the finale everyone's talking about right now on iPlayer. And if you can't get enough of the music, join the cast as they talk tunes on Barry Island discs. Listen now on BBC Sounds.